Hi students, good day. Okay, now we are going to discuss the general paper ICT for and its teaching learning. Under that, in our physical classes, we started Unit 4 ICT Enriched Learning Experiences. Okay, in the previous class, we have discussed the fundamental concepts, meaning and definition of ICT, the application of ICT for enriching classroom experiences. Okay, and some other points related to the concept. Okay, in the previous class, uh, more than half of the students are not attended to the class because of some reason, whatever it may be. Leave it. Okay, once again, I briefly revise the concepts, and after that, I will continue the lesson. Okay, for that, let me present a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, okay. Unit 4 ICT Enriched Learning Experiences. Under that, coming to the meaning and definition of ICT. Before going to discuss what are the ICT enriched learning experiences, definitely we have to know what is ICT, what are ICTs, and what is the importance of ICT, why you have to integrate technology in teaching learning process, what are the reasons, what are the merits. So we have to discuss all these. Okay. Coming to the definition, ICT means information communication technology. We have to understand ICT. We have to know what is I, what is C, and what is T. Information, communication, technology. If we know the meaning and the nature of these three words individually, we may define ICT and we may understand what are ICTs and what is the use of ICT. Information. First one is information. What is information? Information is the summarization of data. So that is nothing but some raw material or knowledge or information or content related to something. So this is the information. Next one, communication. What is communication? Communication means transmission of information. What is communication? Communication means transmission of information is process which disseminate information and knowledge, and technology is a mode or media through which information can be disseminated. Communication is a process of dissemination of information, whereas technology is a mode of dissemination. Technology is mode of dissemination. So uh, by consolidating all these three words, definitions of three words, we can say that ICT is nothing but the technologies required for communication of the information. Technology is required for the communication of the information. So ICT is the technology required for information processing and spreading. ICTs are technologies such as radio and the newer digital technologies like computers, satellites, mobile phones, and the internet. So these are all called ICTs. Okay. ICTs are electronic collection, editing, storage, distribution, and presentation of information. ICT is the means in which people interact with their colleagues around the world, exchange their ideas, information, messages, and coordinate each other through variety of technological means. Okay, so this is the ICT. So coming to the components of ICT, ICT includes communication devices and applications like computer, hardware networks, softwares, mobile technology, satellite communication, video conferencing, RFID technology, Wi-Fi zone, pen drives, internet, www. World Wide Web, Web 2.0, and social media. These are all comes under ICTs. These are all comes under ITCs and components of ICT. So we have to use these ICTs in our teaching learning process in order to enhance the learning of the students, enhance the learning of the students. So, for better understanding of the concepts of a particular subject, definitely we have to integrate ICTs in our teaching learning process. If you observe, nowadays technology plays a very vital role and very important role in the society. In all aspects of our life, there is an impact of technology. So, because of technology, we are enjoying the fruits of some aspects. So, that is the role of technology. Very particularly in teaching learning process, integration of technology leads to success in teaching learning process. Okay, so this is a definition of ICT. Coming to the next one, according to Zhou and Jico, three conditions are necessary for teachers to introduce ICT in their classrooms. So definitely by integrating, by using information and communication technologies in classroom gives a better result and gives and enhance the learning process. So by integration, we will get good result and enhanced result in our teaching learning process. So anyhow, before introducing or using ICTs in teaching learning process, definitely, teachers should know these 3 points. First one is teachers should believe in the effectiveness of technology. Okay, definitely, a teacher has to believe the effectiveness of technology. Without faith on using something, we cannot use that successfully, isn't it or not? Without a faith on a particular thing, if we use that, we cannot succeed. So definitely we have faith on technology. Definitely teachers should believe in the effectiveness of technology. Okay, second one, teachers should believe that the use of technology will not cause any disturbances. See this point. Teachers should believe that the use of technology will not cause any disturbances. So, because of some negative aspect, negative thinking, some teachers may say like this: if we use the technology or technological tools in teaching learning process, it leads to some disturbance in the classroom because of maintenance or because of network or whatever it may be. So if they don't believe, automatically they comment negatively. So some teachers will do like this. So definitely teachers should believe that the use of technology will not cause any disturbances. Okay, if we don't have faith on technologies, definitely use of technology leads to disturbances in the classroom. So first we have to believe the effectiveness technology, then there will be no disturbance in using technology in teaching learning process. Okay. Thirdly, teachers should believe that they have control over technology. Yes, this is also a most important point. While using technology in teaching learning process, definitely we have control over technology. Otherwise, we cannot use or integrate the technology in teaching learning process successfully. So, for suppose we are using LED projector in the classroom to project something, to teach, to project a PowerPoint presentation related to our subject and the concept which are going to teach in that particular class. Okay, then definitely you have control over the technology, how to use that, how to project the PowerPoint presentation through LED projector, how to operate it, how to control it. So we have to know all these things for the better use of technology in teaching and learning process. Okay. Definitely, these 3 points are very, very important. Before a teacher should know, teacher should have the 3 points before using the technology, before integrating the technology in teaching learning process. Okay. Next one, Haddad and Draxler identified at least 5 levels of technology use on education. So, in teaching learning process, at 5 levels, we may use technology, we may interpret technology, we may adapt technology, we may integrate technology for better education, better result in a teaching learning process. Those are presentation, demonstration, drill and practice, interaction, and collaboration. Okay. In teaching learning process, these are all the different stages in teaching learning process. Okay. Uh, in pedagogy subjects, in due course, you will discuss the um, teaching learning process. What are the components of teaching learning process? What a teacher should do in the classroom? What type of activities should do in the classroom? So these are all will be discussed in future classes in pedagogy subjects. So anyhow, we may use technology at 5 levels in teaching learning process. Among them, one is presentation, second one is demonstration, third one is drill and practice, and fourth one is interaction, and fifth one is collaboration. So, in these 5 aspects, we may use the technology, we may integrate the technology in teaching learning process. Integrate the technology in teaching learning process. Okay, let us see which technologies will help in these 5 stages. Coming to the presentation and demonstration, print and audio, video cassettes, radio, TV broadcast, computers, and internet. These are all the useful ICTs to be used in presentation and demonstration. In presentation and demonstration. Coming to drill and practice, whole range of technologies except video technologies. We may use whole range of technologies. So all type of ICTs we may use for drill and practice. So to assign a drill, to assign a practice work, we may use all range of technologies except video technologies. Coming to the interaction and collaboration, we may use networked computers and the internet. So for these 5 aspects, we have to use these ICTs teaching learning process in teaching learning process. Okay. Coming to the next concept, some of the ways in which the teacher can use ICT to enrich the classroom. Some of the ways in which the teacher can use ICT to enrich the classroom. So let us discuss these points. First one is to find information on the internet. To find information on the internet. Okay, so to find the information regarding something related to our subject, something related to our subject, we may use ICTs. Okay, for example, a student has to know uh, a mathematics student in a mathematics classroom. A student is interested to know about the mathematician Ramanujan, about the mathematician Ramanujan. Then he may use computer, internet connected computer to get the information, to get such a information, to get the information about Srinivas Ramanujan, the famous mathematician, about his life history and about his contributions. So, like that, in any subject, to find information on the internet, a teacher can use ICT. By using that ICTs, we may enrich the teaching learning process in the class. Okay. Coming to the second one, make the student practice routine skills and procedures in the classroom using ICTs. Okay. For practice of routine skills and practice of various concepts and practice of various procedures and practice of various skills, we may use ICTs in the classroom. Which type of ICTs are useful for practice? Previously, we discussed it. Which type of practice? Whole range of technologies except video technologies. So, we may use ICT to make the students practice routine skills and procedures in the classroom using ICT. Okay, coming to next one, enable the students to make tests, do homework using technology. For conduct tests and for giving homework or doing homework, we may use technology. We may integrate ICTs in teaching learning process to enable the students to make test, okay, to conduct examinations, to conduct a test, and to do homework. We may integrate, we may use ICTs and technologies in the teaching learning process. Coming to the next point, make the students write stories, reports, flyers, etc., and upload to the bulletin or blog. So we may use the ICTs, technologies, to make the student write stories on their own, to make the students by giving some line or some concept. We may direct the students to write some stories. Why may we may give them such type of activity? To build or to test or to encourage them to develop the narrative power in the students and the uh, understanding level of particular concepts of the students. We may ask them to write stories. We may ask them to write stories. We may ask the students to write stories. That aspect also we may integrate. We may use ICTs and to prepare reports after doing a project, after completing of a activity, completing an activity, whatever it may be, after doing some particular work, some particular project, student, we may direct the student to prepare report. At that time also, we may instruct the students to use technology to prepare report. And next one, flyers, nothing but brochures. We may ask the students to use technologies to prepare flyers. Okay. In these aspects, we may direct the students to use the technologies. Otherwise, we integrate ICT in teaching learning process and to upload them to the bulletin board or blog. Okay. So, whatever we may, students may write the stories or reports or flyers, they have to upload them onto bulletin board or blog. Okay. For that also we may use ICT. Okay. By using them, we may enrich the classroom teaching learning process. Okay. Coming to next one, use ICT to analyze data or information pertaining to the students. This is the use for the teachers. This is the use for the teachers. We may, as a teacher, we may use ICTs to analyze data or information pertaining to students. Okay. In teaching learning, apart from teaching learning, we may use ICTs in administration point of view also. Okay. So we may interpret the data of student related to students. We may analyze the data related to students. For example, some officer asked a teacher to prepare caste-wise students data. Then it is easy to prepare the caste-wise students data using the computer than a physical manual work. Okay, like that, to analyze the data related to students or information related to students, we may use ICTs. Okay, next one, access class resources or online resources anywhere, anytime, anywhere, anytime. So we may use ICTs to use the resources and online resources anywhere, anytime, anywhere and anytime. Next one, enabling the students to work collaboratively with the peer while learning. So this is also a most important aspect for integrating teaching ICT in teaching learning process. So enabling the students because of the integration of ICTs, integration of technology, because of the application of technology, we may enable the student to work collaboratively. What is collaboratively? Collaboration means two or more learn something together. What is collaboration? Collaboration is nothing but two or more students learn something together. That is the collaboration. So by using information communication technologies, we may enable the student to work collaboratively with the peer while learning. With the peer while learning. While they are in learning process, they may collaboratively work each other to get something, to gain something, and to gain some knowledge related to the particular subject. Okay. Next one, creating multimedia presentation to teach. This is the use of a teacher. So a teacher may prepare a multimedia presentation to teach his subject, to teach his subject effectively, more effectively. So, teachers may prepare multimedia presentations to explain some concepts more elaboratively, more elaboratively to the students. So, this is also one of the use of ICT to enrich the classroom. Coming to the next one, using simulations or animations to elaborate on the concepts. Using simulations or animations to elaborate on the concepts. What is simulation? Simulation means creating similar creating similar procedures parallel to some other one. For example, we cannot test atomic uh, we cannot test relay procedures or practicals related to atom. Okay, then we may create a simulation using technology. Using technology. For example, uh, for taking a general example, for pilots, while giving training to pilots, they use simulations before going to the actual training and physical training. They use simulations. They prepare all the cockpit and all the technology on the ground, and they give training to them with that work. So these are called simulations. So using simulations or animations to elaborate on the concepts. Okay. Next, coming to the next one, cross cultural studies for historical studies and comparative studies. What are cross cultural studies? Cross cultural studies are nothing but historical studies are comparative studies. For historical studies and comparative studies, we may use ICT, Information and Communication Technology. For better cross-cultural studies, we may use ICTs. Okay. Lastly, enabling the students to develop simulations or animations to represent their learning. Enable the students to develop simulations or animations to present their learning. So, in these aspects, these are all some ways in which the teacher can use ICT to enrich the classroom. To enrich the classroom. So, by using ICTs, by integrating ICTs in teaching learning process like this, we may enrich the classroom teaching learning process. We may enrich the teaching learning process. Okay. Definitely we have to view the ICT in two ways. First one is pedagogical point. Second one is technical point of view. We have to discuss the ICTs in two views, in two ways. First one is pedagogical point of view, and the second one is technical point of view. Okay. A pedagogical point of view may call as ICTs for education, and technical point of view may call as ICTs in education. ICTs for education and ICTs in education. So, pedagogical point of view refers to the development of information and communication technology, especially for teaching and learning purpose. That is ICT materials and programs. Pedagogical point of view means ICT materials and programs, ICT materials and programs. Coming to the ICTs in education, this is a technology point of view, refers to the adoption of general components of information and communication technologies in teaching learning process. That is ICT infrastructure, ICT infrastructure. And the pedagogical point of view is ICT materials and programs, softwares and programs like that. But ICTs in education, technological point of view means it refers to the adoption of general components of ICTs. That is ICT infrastructure. That means computers, LED projectors, smart boards, whatever it may be. Okay. So these two are the ICTs for education and ICTs in education. Oh, coming to next point, ICT awareness for a teacher. Teacher has to interact with students of different ages, from infants to adults, students with the different abilities. Generally, in teaching learning process, teacher has to interact with the students of different ages, from infants to adults. Likewise, students with different abilities. No student is alike in a classroom, in a particular class. Okay. Uh, at the same time, some students are with different disabilities and different abilities. So we have to deal with them in the same roof, under the same roof. If a student is to be prepared for the future, it is essential that the teacher is aware of the technologies which helps to provide learning experience through ICT to enrich all the students of various abilities and various ages. A teacher should be aware of the technologies which helps to provide learning experiences through ICT, which helps to provide learning experiences through ICT. Okay, so this is the basic. These are the basic concepts of ICT and integration of ICT. Okay, thank you, students. Have a good day. In next class, we are going to discuss the remaining concepts under this subunit. The remaining concepts under this subunit. That is ICT infrastructure are components which helps to provide learning experiences. Which helps to provide learning experiences. And importance or uses of ICT. Okay. Okay. Thank you.